Hello again. In part 3, we will talk about models of lack of necessity and prohibition, and later we will do some exercises. Let's start with models of lack of necessity or obligation. We use don't or doesn't have to and don't or doesn't need to talk about lack of necessity. In other words, we use these models to say that it is not necessary to do something. Don't have to and don't need to have the same meaning. We can also use needed with the base form of the verb to show lack of necessity, but it is very rare and formal. As it is a holiday tomorrow, we don't have to, or don't need to, or needn't go to school. This sentence shows a lack of necessity since we know that it is a holiday and it is not necessary for us to go to school. The past forms of these models are didn't have to and didn't need to. Jim didn't have to or didn't need to go to school because the professor was ill that day. As you see, this sentence shows a lack of necessity in the past. Let's move on to the models of prohibition. We use can't or mustn't to express prohibition. That is, mustn't and can't mean that it is forbidden to do something. However, the meaning of can't is stronger than mustn't. You mustn't smoke in the classroom, or you can't smoke in the classroom. From these sentences, we understand that it is forbidden to smoke in the classroom. Now we will talk about a grammar point that students are generally confused about. As we discussed earlier, have to and must have the same meaning. You must or have to wear a uniform in military. I can paraphrase this sentence without changing the meaning with the negative form of must and have to, which is mustn't. You mustn't wear casual clothes in military. Both of these sentences are correct and give the same meaning. So we understand that mustn't is the negative form of have to and must within the meaning of obligation. However, we cannot get the same meaning with don't have to because don't have to expresses lack of necessity. But we need a prohibition in this context. Now go back to your grammar handout and do task 6. Later, we will check the answers together. Let's check the answers together. In the first sentence, we need a model to show lack of necessity since it says it is not necessary to wear a uniform. So doesn't have to, doesn't need to, or needed are the correct answers. In the second sentence, standing on the head is a general ability, so can is the correct option here. In the third sentence, we need a model of possibility to describe a past event, so couldn't is the best option. In the fourth and in the fifth sentence, we have a meaning of lack of necessity to describe a present and past event respectively. So doesn't have to, doesn't need to, needn't, and didn't need to or didn't have to are the correct answers. Finally, in the last sentence, we have a meaning of prohibition. So can't or mustn't are the correct answers. This is the end of series of videos for modals.